Hi everyone, I hope you're having an amazing and very safe day today. So it's Rhonda here from Nelson's Soapery. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video on how I've made my gorgeous Japanese honeysuckle and cornflower bath bombs. So these are what they look like. I have finished them off and the video will be coming to you very soon. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how I've done them. This is more of a milky bath with no colours. So we do have some gorgeous goat's milk in it and some jojoba oils and of course the cornflower flowers you can see on top with some honeysuckle. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you really love my content, please subscribe. That does help me a lot, and it also does help boost our little channel in YouTube as well, because they want to see that the content that I am providing everyone is worthy of a thumbs up or a subscription. So without further ado, let's get going and make this gorgeous bath bomb. Like I said, if you feel that it's worthy, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I love to hear your comments and I always answer all of you back. Anyway, let's go and we'll make something that smells just divine and gorgeous. Let's go. So in here I have 2,000 grams of bicarbonate soda, and I also do have this beautiful, gorgeous, sparkly mica that I've got in here as well. I'll leave all the links below where I've got everything. I put 1.5 tablespoons of the mica in here just to give it a bit of a sparkle, but it will be white with just this sparkle in it. And then we're going to be adding in some flora into it as well, which I just put a very tiny bit at the bottom. Don't put massive amounts because it can clog up the drain and nobody will love you for that. So anyway, like I said, I put everything in here. The citric acid I have not popped in here yet. So let's add a few extras that I always add into my mix before we do anything else. So in here I do have all of my oils and everything else ready to go. And we'll pop them just in a moment. But for starters, we are going to be popping in 2 tablespoons of kaolin clay into this. I always put kaolin clay. It holds the scent and makes it smell, keeps that sort of smell a little bit better as well. And then of course we have our goat milk powder, and I always add 2 tablespoons into this big mix of this. And this actually creates bubbles as well, for those of you that want to know why I would actually use these extra products in it. And it just adds to a really beautiful, silky kind of bath as well. So we've done all of that. So these are our dry ingredients, except for the citric acid. We'll add that later, so don't worry about that. In this container here, I do have quite a few different products in it that you need to know. So I have 2 tablespoons of water in here. Sorry, not tablespoons, teaspoons. I have 2 teaspoons of, distilled water inside here. Then I also, let me just look at my list because I might actually forget. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. And if you're going to use dye, then, use a little bit of dye. But like I said, we've already got the mica in here, so we're definitely not going to be using that in here as well. And then we have 2 tablespoons of jojoba oil in here, 2 tablespoons of apricot kernal, 2 tablespoons of sweet almond oil, and that's everything in here. So I'm going to just pop this inside here now, and that's all that I need in this liquid. If you don't want to use all the jojoba oils and so on, you can just simply add sweet almond oil. You could use olive oil, but I just definitely would not suggest that. So anyway, we're going to just mix it all together, and then I'm going to come back in just a moment. Alright, I thought I'd come back again. My daughter came in and interrupted me, so I had to stop the video halfway and we weren't ready yet. So now what we're going to be adding in here is we are also going to be adding in this gorgeous fragrance. I'm going to be using this one today, which is Japanese honeysuckle from Pure Candle Supplies. So we're going to be adding in 2 tablespoons into this one here. Have a look on your recipe as well, just to double check. But this one I've got, it says half a tablespoon, so I'm going to be adding another 2, because like I said, that makes 2 actual tablespoons in there. And also don't forget to add in your polysorbate 80. So in this mix here, we actually want to have 2 tablespoons of the polysorbate 80. So that is 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons. So make sure you definitely do pop that one in. And if you feel that your mixture isn't wet enough, then I do have in this bottle here some witch hazel. the one thing that I never knew when I started bath bombs is if you put too much witch hazel into your mix, what it actually does is makes your bath bomb soft over time, and then it will kind of get all powdery and not very good. So I definitely suggest that, you know, you really do look into making sure, you know, that you've done everything the right way in it. So, and then all we're going to do is mix all this up. And you can probably see those sparkles flying in the air that I can see, and they look so, so lovely. And like I said, if you feel like your mixture is a little dry, then do add more. But I didn't add enough water at the start because I'm working with half a teaspoon or a tablespoon instead of a full one. But anyway, don't worry about that. We're going to add a little bit more in. And because we don't have our citric acid, it's no problem to add extra water in. So don't feel that you can't add the extra water, because you definitely can at this stage. So I'm going to just get some jojoba oil and put a little bit more into my mix, because I definitely did not put enough at the start. And like I said, and then I'm going to just add a tiny bit more water into my mix. Hey everyone, I'm back again. I had to edit this part of the video and do a voiceover because silly me, if you've noticed, the tablespoon I'm using is only a half tablespoon and not a full tablespoon, so I definitely won't make that mistake again. And so then when I was actually talking on the video and adding in my oils and so on, I only added in half the amount because I treated that spoon like it was an actual full tablespoon. So at the start, I did give you the recipe and I was talking about the amounts. They are definitely right. It's just the spoon I was using for my own mixture was not the right one. So anyway, like I said, definitely won't be doing that mistake again. But I thought the video was definitely worth you guys watching, because lots of people do ask me how to make botanical bath bombs and more natural ones. So anyway, you'll see me keep going along and mixing it. I've added in a bit of witch hazel just because it wasn't wet enough. But do remember that your mixture cannot be really wet, too wet, because if it is, then you'll start getting cracks and so on in your bath bomb. And lots of people do say to me that they thought that theirs had to be wetter than mine because they realise mine looks a lot drier. But it definitely isn't dry. It just, you know, we just sort of, everyone says, you know, it needs to look like wet sand, but it doesn't really, because wet sand is too wet for a bath bomb. So anyway, like I said, do follow the recipe that I give you, and if you're in a humid environment, you just may need to change that a tiny bit. So I keep going with my mixture, just turning it round, and what you can see me adding in here is some cream of tartar. Silly me, didn't add enough in of that before either. That's what I said, absolute boo-boo, but you know, you got to laugh, don't you? And we do all have these issues when we're making things. Although I make thousands of bath bombs, believe me, I've had plenty of things that have not worked until, you know, you just get your process right and your recipes right. So it's really important to have everything in front of you and start with everything perfect. Don't do what I did and had to keep leaving the scene going for extra things that I forgot the whole time. Absolutely hopeless of me. But as you all know, I keep it real, and I love to keep it real because, you know, that way I'm actually helping you and teaching you a little more. So now I get my hand express machine and my bath bomb molds. I'm using a round one today. And next I'm going to be adding in this gorgeous cornflower botanicals, and I've got these from Sud off Australia, so just go and check them out at their website, and they have a few different botanicals that you could use. Then I just fill the mixture up to the top, and I'm piling it a little bit higher because I want my molds just to have that nice satin ring. Then I'm just going to press it through the express machine. All you do is just press the lever down, and then we can pull it out of the molds. I'm making it look difficult, I know, but I thought I'd do a bit of a practice first. And we know that this one's turning out gorgeous, and then I'm just going to be turning it onto my tray. So I thought, oh, I forgot everything here, like I said, and had to organise my tray, which is some little table at the back behind me. And so I just keep going and adding in the botanicals and like I said, and just a little bit of the mixture, just so that I can make sure that they're all very similar size, which is better when you're trying to sell the product. So I'm just going to keep going with the mixture until I've done them all up. So this is a really big batch. I think I'm using about a 3 kilo batch here. So it's like 2,000 grams of your bicarb, and then of course, you know, your 1,000 of citric acid, and then the extra ingredients. So it would work out to be more than 3,000 grams in total, but that's okay because I know these ones will be a really, really good seller. So I just keep going. But for anybody that wants to know about these particular molds, I'm using a resin mold, and the resin mold that I'm using is, I've actually got them from Bath Bomb World, but they actually do come from the Express machine company, which I think is located actually in the US, but I'm in Australia, so obviously you know, I need to find a supplier here. And I'm just showing you how this particular bath bomb here broke, and the reason I'm showing you that is because my mixture was a little bit too wet. I added too much witch hazel, so then I had to keep drying it in between. So if something doesn't work, don't think, oh my god, I can't fix it. You definitely can fix it. You just need to keep airing out your mixture and keep turning the mixture around. And this is what I say all the time about it not being a wet sand consistency. You'll hear that quite a lot, but wet sand is really wet. So I always say it's more like wet sand that is dried for half a day, because that is really the consistency that you want. Too wet means too many cracks will come in your bath bombs, and they can actually start to activate. So it is a fine balance of the exact ingredients and so on. But as you know, at the start of it, I did make a bit of a boo-boo and made my measurements a little wrong, because I was using the wrong spoon, and that's why it became too wet. But either way, I definitely saved it, and they are going to be beautiful. I've tested them out and they're just absolutely perfect. At the end of the video, I actually do show you what the water will look like, and this water is going to be a nice kind of milky white water, and it will just have tiny little bits of the corn flour floating, but not too many as well. So anyway, like I said, I'll keep making these, and you can watch me make these to the end, and then I'll come back. So I thought I'd show you this bit. Here I am making another one of the bath bombs. When I take off the top piece, you can see that some of it is stuck to the top piece, which ruined this particular bath bomb. So all I do is I just tip it straight back inside the mixture, give it a really big mix again, and then I start again by putting more botanicals and so on into this bath bomb, and then keep going. That's just because the mixture, like I said at the start, was a little too wet and wasn't dry. So I just need to keep mixing it in between. If it gets stuck to the resin molds or even your metal molds, all you need to do is just clean it and make sure it's nice and dry on the mold, and then start again. Because if you don't clean that bit, then you're going to have more of an issue later on. So cleaning your molds actually just stops the next one from sticking again. So that's the main bit. You don't need to wash them, but just wipe them out with a paper towel or your hand. If they're really wet, you definitely need to leave them and restart a bit later. So once again, I just keep going and I keep continuing with them, and you'll see that most of them are really good. It's just every now and then when there might be a little bit wetter piece in the mixture, and that's why they are actually sticking. But for now, I'm sure that you can agree they're turning out quite well, so we'll just keep going with the mix. Alright everyone, I'm back again. So as you can see, these little darlings are totally and utterly finished. So if you can see how beautiful they are. And if you're wondering all about my tray, this particular tray, all it is a flexible cupcake tray. And then I just pop over some plastic over the top and make sure I do it nice and tight. And then it allows these to float on the bottom. So if you can see the bottom of these, they are beautiful and round. They're not flat at all. And that is actually how I get beautiful bottoms on the ends of all of these. So I get asked quite often, how do you keep them round? Well, that's how. And basically what it is, if you can see nice and close, the plastic is tight here. So then it just floats on the plastic rather than sinking into the bottom of the actual tray. But I'm sure you can agree, they really do look so lovely. So I'll give you a close-up. This one has a little bit of a nick taken out, but that's okay. My daughter will love that one. And if you can see how beautiful they are, they're nice and smooth. If I put Epsom salts in these, they would look more grainy. But I've decided not to put any Epsom salts in them, and I'm sure that you can agree, they really do look so amazing. So I'll leave them a little bit longer until tomorrow, and then basically tomorrow they'll be rock hard, and then I'll be able to wrap them up. At the moment they are pretty hard. They've only been sitting here a few hours, but like I said, we'll just leave them a little bit longer. And basically most of this mix was done to give me about 12. So if you have about 2,000 grams in ingredients, or 2 kilos, that will give you at least 12 or so of these good size bath bombs. These are a regular regular to large, I guess, bath bomb. And basically all it will do is give you the beautiful bath that you really want. You can do massive big ones, but generally I find these are the ones that sell the best. So you can also see the difference in, because I don't weigh mine, every time when I'm popping it into the little machine, you can see this is a wider line. And then we'll go to this one, which is a much thinner line. So it depends exactly how much of a satin ring that you want around the outside to how big that you actually want them. So you can see this one's big, and this, because I've made it bigger, it's made it more of an oval shape. So anyway, but like I said, if you just measure exactly how you want them to be in there, and you can actually get more bath bombs out of it too. But anyway, hopefully you've loved everything I've done, and I promise to leave all the links for you guys down below. And when you use these in the bath, the sparkle will come on top of the water as well, which will be really nice. I'm not going to add any colour or paint these. Sometimes I do, and I have to resist my temptation to do it, because if I do, then, it's just not going to look as neat and clean as these white ones. I don't do a lot of white, but I think these look really nice just to leave them as is. And then I will be on to my next bath bomb, because I do have some little fish to make next. And I promise I will bring that one to show you, because I'm going to make some fish that are a little bit different from these one. But anyway, for this video, we are finished and we are ready to exit the video for now. So I have to say a massive thank you for watching my video. If you've got to the end, I really appreciate you hanging around and seeing exactly what I do. So make sure you give me a thumbs up if you think that this is worthy of your thumbs up, of course. And any comments I always appreciate, and I do answer them back. Every time you see me answer a comment, it is me, it is no one else but me. And I will be answering you back because, I just hate that when, you're really interested in something, you ask a question, no one bothers giving you an answer back. So, of course I will do that. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help you out. So don't feel shy, just ask me through the YouTube comments down the bottom. And then, of course, I will help you from there. If you like, you can also check out my website, which is www.nelsonsoapery.com, and check out all my beautiful products. They'll all be listed. Anyway, see you next time. Bye for now.